What is up, my beautiful friends? This week's episode, we are diving into a car chat that turned into a really big truth bomb moment. A friend of mine's daughter, she's 26 years old. She's very smart. She's very beautiful. She's very driven. She's doing all the right things. And basically her mom was like, I am about to freaking shake her. I don't know if you can talk to her. And I was like, I can try. I don't have a daughter, but I'm a girl. I'm 20, I've been 26 before, and I've done a lot of research and personal development, and with my, life coaching background now. Anyway, I get on the phone with her. We're doing a car chat. She says she's doing all the right things, and I agree. She is like on the right track by whoever defines that, right? But she told me that she feels behind. So the first question that pops in my head is, behind what? That question, it opened a full conversation about the pressure to live by society's rule book, marriage, kids, house, career, and how the timeline doesn't fit most of us anymore. I'm not talking about me, but I'm talking about the generation that most of us that are my age, our kids, are actually living through. So today we're going to unpack the real statistics of the current U.S. divorce rate and why that happily ever after Cinderella story that we were sold isn't a one size fits all. And the cost of living, what it is in 2025 versus one income versus two incomes or two careers, and why chasing approval over alignment keeps a lot of women very, very stuck, as I found out as we had that conversation, and the freedom that comes when you design your own path, even if that means that maybe you don't want kids or maybe you don't want the ring on your finger. There's no rush. So this episode is your permission slip to stop comparing yourself to everyone else, to stop performing and start designing the life that you want. You don't owe society any kind of timeline in any era or chapter of life. You owe yourself your own purpose. Pray on it. You owe yourself alignment, and that's why structure is self-respect. Let's get into it.
You're listening to the #GetUnstuck podcast, your go-to source for all things health and fitness transformation, with certified nutrition coach and specialist turned online fitness planning mentor, Heather Newman. Heather's goal is to empower women like you to take control of your overall health and fitness strategy. Tune in each week for a realistic approach as she shares tips and tools to glitter your soul and add sparkle to your life. Let's get unstuck. You are not a tree. So let's learn to move, change, and find true happiness by creating a vision and living your dreams. For blog posts, exclusive offers, fitness strategies, monthly VIP challenges, at-home workout plans, and more, be sure to subscribe to glitteru.com. Now tighten that ponytail, embrace a more fulfilled and positive approach to life, and let's get happy. Here's your host, Heather Newman.
All right, my pretty friends, today's episode is a little bit different, but I do think it's a topic that a lot of us are going to feel or have felt before, or maybe just nobody's talking about it. I don't know. Maybe people are talking about it, but just not in my circles. But anyway, welcome back to the #GetUnstuck podcast. I am Heather Newman, and I am your host. I try to design a life of fulfillment, style, health, and wealth. So today I am talking directly to women, moms of my age, and people who maybe have daughters or even sons that are probably in their 20s. But really, it applies to any age, so I don't know why I'm putting that on there. Because the story we're about to unpack is one that we've all been handed, whether we follow it or we rebel against it. So the story that we were told, we'll start there. We'll start with the story. I recently had a conversation with a friend's daughter. She's 26. She's smart. She's ambitious. She seems very focused on her career. She's doing all the things, right? And then she said something that literally stopped me. She was just casually talking to me, and she said, I feel like I'm already behind. And I had to pause because I thought, behind what? I asked her. Why and what do you feel like you're behind? Because here's what I realized. She's not behind. She's just living by a manual that was never even freaking written for her. I don't know about you, but my grandma got married at 14 years of age. Can you imagine? We were sold a Cinderella story. Meet the person of your dreams, get the job, buy the house, have the kids. And somehow that's supposed to equal successful. But that's not really reality. It's all freaking hard. Every part of it. That is life. Life is not easy. But let's talk about the reality check, okay? I'm going to bring up some stats. So let me get my notes. Hang on. Okay, let's talk about the stats. The U.S. divorce rate is about 3 divorces per 1,000 people population per year. This stat is from the CDC as of 2023. I don't have 2025 stats. But that is 3 per 1,000 in population. So roughly 33% of marriages end in divorce in 2022 and 2023. Again, that's where this report and stats are coming from. That was per the recent divorce to marriage ratio data from Consumer Shield. Another fact and stat that I wanted to address is living comfortably, however you define that, that's all relative, in many U.S. cities in 2025 means that a single adult might need to make around $86,000 a year or to live comfortably, and again, this is all relative, for 2 working adults with 2 kids, that figure jumps above $200,000 a year. These stats come from Smart Asset. And then let's talk about the housing. The median home price is now roughly $417,000, which is nearly 5 times the median annual household income of about $83,000. These stats come from Visual Capitalist. So what does all this mean? It means that the timeline that we were sold, getting married, having kids, buy a house by this age, whatever this age may be, it's outdated. But it's not just outdated. It's under tremendous strain. The cost, the expectation, the social pressure, especially from social media, it's real. So I want to mention something that we talked on in our car chat, and it's why comparison literally can kill you. Comparison is the quickest way to sabotage your peace, your goals, your knowing, your ideas of what's right for you. When you measure your life by someone else's timetable, whether that someone is your friend or your sister or an influencer or the ideal society that was pitched to you, you'll always feel behind. You'll always feel like you're missing something. You'll always feel like you just don't measure up. But you aren't behind. You just need a fresh map, because the map that we've been given up until, I would say, even 10, 15, 20 years ago, that map is not designed for you. You are the designer. So here's the big shift. You are the designer of your peace, of your God-given purpose, and of your timeline. So what does that look like in your 20s? Let's say you're in your 20s, young adult. My boys are in their 20s, and I know that they're trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to navigate this ship the best that I can, because this is my first day being 56 years old, navigating a ship with two young adults. I've never been on this day before either. This is my first time here too. So decide what you truly value. This is the best advice I can give to anybody, be it a boy or a girl, female or male, in your 20s. Decide what you truly value, not what someone else told you that you should value. Know you. Love yourself. Serve you before you attach, before you choose to attach your worth to another person. Trust your freaking gut. If something feels off or out of alignment, it probably is. Actually, I know it is. Recognize that what mattered to you at the age of 20, 21, 22, whatever that age is in your 20s, it may not matter to you at 32. And that's okay. Understand that having structure is not about performance. It's about having self-respect. You as a kid, as a young adult, even you as my friend in your 50s, we have the freedom of choosing. If you're in your childbearing years and you don't want kids, that is okay. That is for you to decide. It's freaking expensive. And I couldn't even find a school today that I would send my child to. I'm being honest. If you don't want kids, that is okay. If you don't want to buy a house right now, that is okay. If you want 2 incomes, a flexible life, travel, less stuff, that is okay. Because this is your life, not the life someone else has planned for you. Here's the kicker. Some of these parents who don't mean to, I don't think, will impose pressures on their children such as, when are you having kids? When are you going to get married? I want to be around for my grandchildren. Don't let me be old and decrepit and not have a grandchild. Stop. Stop that. That is so selfish. The next generation is watching. If you continue to hand down the same rule book of comparison, timeline guilt, you're just passing on the pressure that you felt. And that may or may not have worked out for you. But if you live differently with clarity, with choice, with alignment, you break the cycle. It ends here. I think that's enough. That's heavy for today. I hope you enjoyed your walk. That is about maybe 13 minutes, 50 seconds in, almost 14 minutes in. So that's a good 14-minute walk. I love to walk with you. I want to thank you for showing up today. This episode was a little different, but it's real. It's real talk. And if you found it, it was meant for you. And if you have a friend that is dealing with this, either themselves or their child, send this episode to them. If this resonated with you, share it with someone in their 20s who thinks that they are behind. Tell them they're exactly where they are supposed to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You don't owe society a timeline. You owe yourself alignment. Structure is self-respect. I design, you show up. Visit tonein10.com for more. Everything's in the show notes. I'll see you next time on the #GetUnstuck podcast. Bye!
Hey friend, thank you so much for listening to Heather's Get Unstuck podcast. Her goal is to help as many women as possible, and if this episode helped you in any way, you can directly impact Heather's efforts by simply sharing a screenshot of this to your social media or team. Also, if you're looking for additional support, feel free to find Heather on Instagram at GlitterU, her website at www.glitteru.com, and or join the free Get Unstuck community Facebook group.